Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 9, Episode 14, DJI Avata 360, prepping for it. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. Ron's going to join me here in a little bit. As we all know, last night was a great show on Drone Nation. Really kind of a prep for what's coming up this weekend down at Jensen Beach. Hope to see everybody down there if you can make it. Last I hear, about 150-ish are supposed to be there, so it's good. It's going to be good. Now, the weather may be a little iffy here because we had pretty good rain today, and then the temperatures kind of dropped. So just kind of, be prepared for anything on Saturday. That's all I got to say. Florida weather can turn on a dime down here. You guys have been down here before or spent a significant amount of time here, that's all that's the best that I can say. Because today, it's like yesterday I wore shorts, and then today I had to wear jeans today, and the temperature's a little on the chilly side this evening. So, just be prepared. Weather forecast looks pretty good, but like I said, just be prepared for it. Let's see who's in the house here. We've got a full house here. Drone shots, Gator Drone, Bud Bieber, Lauren, welcome guys. Gator Drone, Art's here. Droney Oki, welcome, my friend. Lauren is here. Let's see who else we got. RJ Redding is here. Steve Porter. Captain Ray is here. Welcome, Captain Ray. Giggles FPV. Wow. Okay. Seeing who else is all here. John Flynn, welcome, John. Oren Schwartz is here. Welcome, Oren. Let's see who else we got. Okay. Sergeant Rock, welcome. Yeah, it feels like almost like a hurricane here. Yeah, Sergeant Rock. Yeah, it's kind of. Yeah, let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. That's all I got to say. I just, like I said, weather down here. Yeah, it's like, have you seen that somebody puts up, there's an old picture of an old professor with all these equations up there, and it says how to figure out a woman. Well, that's also how to figure out the weather in Florida as well too. Okay, there's no rhyme or reason or anything for that. So, all right, what we're going to do tonight, Ron's going to join me here in a little bit. I have several things we're going to go over, but I really want to do kind of like a prepping 101 for when your Avata 360 comes in, how you guys can be ready for it to hit the ground running when it arrives. I've done a lot of reading, a lot of research. And if you haven't, there is a link in the description, and it does work. My Avata 360 group, I have been pumping a ton of information out there, searching other groups, putting that in there. Most recently this week, I put the download for DJI Studio. We're going to talk about that coming up here in a minute. That is in there. I put in the description, linked in the group itself, are the actual manuals for the Avata 360, both the fly more combos. So they're in there. Those links are in there. They're permanent, so you can check them out at any time. And I've been putting all the best review videos that are out there. Okay, I've been sifting through them. I've been watching a lot of them, and I found the best ones, and the best ones are out there for you guys. So it really has some good information. I'm really going through with a fine-tooth comb and getting it out there. So just want to be upfront. It's the best place to get info. I kid you not. Okay, I work very hard. I've set up some alerts. Anytime there's information that comes out about the Avata 360, it gets in there. Okay, I make sure it's good stuff too. So, all right. Thank you, bud. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really trying to stay on top of that because I figure this is a drone, and we'll get into a little more here in just a little bit. But I think this is a drone. You know how it gets old here, and it's a game changer. But after everything that I've seen, all the review videos I've watched, all the footage that I've watched, this really is I think, going to turn the drone world on its axis and really just be everything that you could ever have thought about that a drone could do. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. All right, let's get to, we got some articles we want to talk about. Now, the first article I want to talk about today and it's really kind of, this comes on a sad note. I mean, sad, but another drone has reached its end of life for support, and that's the Mavic 2 and Matrice 600 drones. You can see there's a Mavic 2 Pro, both the Pro and the Zoom right here, and it's ironic. I mean, I don't want to say ironic, but it's really kind of a coming around for me, because both Valor and I went, and it was the last time DJI had an in-person reveal, a premiere for a drone. The very last time they did that, and that was back in 2017. Oh my gosh, it seems like forever ago, 2017, right when I got started out, and I got fortunate enough to get invited to it, and it was quite an experience. It really was, and now we're at end of life for it. But it really kind of started a trend, and it was an amazing presentation. It was fantastic, and it was an amazing drone. It did so much, and I'll never forget going to Reddington Beach with Ron when Ron and Susan came down here. I think it was in 2019, and Ron was flying his Mavic Pro, and he looked at my screen, he looked at my footage, he's like, I need to get that. Literally, he made that decision when we were flying there that night. That was such a blast. I had such a great time with Ron and Susan. We both did, both Valerie and I did. We just really enjoyed that evening, and really thankful for being able to spend some time with them. And even though it seemed like a long time ago, which it kind of was, that's why we're looking forward to getting over there and seeing everybody this coming week here. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. But yeah, it's reached end of service. Like, okay, Mavic 2 Pro support ends August 30th. Mavic 2 Enterprise Zoom May 29th, 2026. Mavic 2 Enterprise Dual May 29th, 2026. And Matrice 600 Pro support ends May 29th, 2026. After these days, DJI says it will no longer provide technical support, repairs, maintenance, or product-related assistance for these models or their accessories. So when you can figure they're 2018. So yeah, it's 8-9 years. Yeah, about 8 years. So that's pretty good that they provided support that long enough. So just kind of like I don't want to say it's I don't want to say it's bittersweet or somber, but it's an end of an era, and it was a good era. It was served its purpose. It kind of broke the mold as far as what drones can do, and yeah, it was pretty incredible. So yeah, moving on from that. Okay, now there's a couple articles here about the FCC, and they're kind of flexing their muscles here, okay, because they think they have some leeway and everything, even though we know that lawsuit's been filed by DJI. There's some things that they're trying to posture themselves to put themselves in a really good position here. And let's take a look. There's a couple articles out here that I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys. We need to stay on top of this, and to be, mostly for being aware's sake. Now, a lot of this really kind of doesn't pertain to us. FCC eyes sweeping reforms to boost U.S. drone power. At the center of its latest development is a new public notice issued by the FCC's Wireless Telecommunications Bureau. What should we fix or change to help the U.S. lead the global drone race? Okay, and this is more talking from a commercial drone standpoint, not a consumer type drone standpoint. Just to let you guys know. So yeah, Philip, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Carr didn't mince words. He emphasized that drone production, deployment, and exports are now seen as critical pillars of national security, technology, sovereignty, and global competitiveness. Okay, companies like Andref, he says, are the tip of the spear in building strong domestic drone industry. Okay, and they got a long way to go. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Another priority is making it easier for U.S. companies to invest and scale. This means clearer regulations, better access to infrastructure, and policies that encourage innovation rather than slow it down. All right. Well, all that's all that's good stuff, and that's good talk and everything. But where were they 5 years ago or so? They could have been developing this all along. And see, part of the problem is, and I'm not going to pontificate too long, part of the problem is they were resting on their laurels. And I don't know what burr got in somebody's saddle about DJI, but, and it's multi-party. It's not one party here, guys. It's both Democrats and Republicans. So don't go pointing fingers to this president or that president or this party or that party. Okay. It's everybody. Everybody's got a burr up their saddle for DJI. Don't know why. Well, and maybe, this lawsuit, we might be able to find out. Now, there's another article here about the FCC. It's like, God, the FCC has open day here. I mean, it's just, now this one is also concerning to me, not only from a drone standpoint, but from a ham radio standpoint. All right. I'm like, oh, okay. Let's hit on both my big hobbies here. All right. Why not? FCC opens public comment on spectrum and licensing reforms to advance U.S. drone industry. All right. FCC released public notice on April 1st asking drone industry investors and defense stakeholders what the agency needs to do to fix the United States to lead the global drone race. Okay. The Wireless Telecommunications Bureau and Opposite Engineering Technology is available in Maritalk. This is the most consequential FCC drone proceeding since the agency added all foreign-made UAS to its covered list in December 2025. What the FCC is actually asking on the spectrum, the core problem that the FCC acknowledges is the most U.S. drone operators on unlicensed frequency, same as the 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz bands that share the Wi-Fi routers and Bluetooth devices. Those bands are crowded. They were never designed for the precision control links that beyond visual line of sight operations requires. The FCC is now asking whether the industry should shift to licensed spectrum, which means which bands make the most sense. Okay, now it's getting into things as far as bands are concerned. And let me tell you something. Okay, if you want to throw a burr in the saddle of a ham radio licensed operator like me, okay, you start talking about messing with the spectrum and the bands. Okay, there's an organization out there, and for lack of a better term, they're like our NAA. It's called the ARRL, American Radio Relay League, and their advocacy for licensed ham operators. Okay, and one of their big things is they go out there and they ask you usually every month to contribute to the Spectrum Fund. Okay, and what that means is they go and they lobby before Congress so we can at least keep the bands that we have and maybe expand some of them here. Okay. Now it's getting into 5030 to 5091 megahertz band is the most discussed candidate. 960 to 1164. They're talking about that. Experimental licensing and innovation zones. It's really touching on, and I know Joni Oki and I know some of you who Waypoint New England and others who are also licensed ham radio operators. You guys know this, okay? And this is something that really kind of, this really hits home here. This really just touches a nerve as far as ham radio is concerned. And you're messing with my drones, okay, which is bad enough. Now you're starting to go after my other hobby here, okay, which is even more stuff. So, yeah. So, I don't know what else to say on that. I'm just saying, just be aware, just be wary of things that are coming up with this. Pay attention to what's going on. Know that they're doing these actions, because I think it's important enough that you need to pay attention to all of this. And, what can I say? It's just, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now, it's DJI Pocket 4 time. And I know Ron and everyone spent some time talking about it last night. And I want to spend a few minutes on it. And, the more I'm finding out about the Pocket 4, all right, the more I'm like, there's also, I'm not, leak confirms every spec buyers were hoping for. I like Hay a lot, but I don't think so. to me, at best, it's an incremental upgrade from the Pocket 3. It's not really groundbreaking enough for me, if I still had a Pocket 3, to want to upgrade to a Pocket 4, because there's not a lot of changes here. I mean, I'm seeing the changes I'm seeing are incremental. They're not really, something that's going to go out and say it's grab me and shake me up and say, you know what, you got to go out there and buy me because I'm going to give you. Now, granted, the only thing that it really kind of has going for it, in my opinion, is that it was approved by the FCC. All right. And I kind of think they probably got this in under the wire on December 23rd. Okay. Retail packaging photos of the Osmo Pocket Creator Combo has surfaced showing the full spec sheet printed on the box. Okay. 14 stops of dynamic range, 107 gigabytes of built-in storage, which is nice, 2x lossless zoom, and 4-channel audio output. These are not rumors pulled from Telegram groups or Reddit speculation threads. These are printed on the final retail box sitting in a warehouse waiting for a launch date. Okay. Multiple sources now point to April 20th as a global launch date. Portuguese DJI enthusiast account compiled the specs list from packaging photos and earlier leaks through D-Help. Also questioned whether the standard Pocket 4 offers enough over a Pocket 3 firmware update to justify a new product. Colombian authorized dealer Drone Techs has been running a full pre-sale campaign pointing to the 20th. Either way, the Pocket 4 is days away. Spec sheet reads like a wish list that DJI actually delivered. A 1-inch CMOS sensor with 14 stops of dynamic range, a bump that should produce notably better results in high contrast lighting. Yeah, it is going to produce better results, but understand that, it's not that much of a jump from the Pocket 3, and that's the big thing that I've been trying to say to people, because I've been hearing a lot of that. I mean, a lot of that here. Okay. The 2x lossless zooms is new hardware. Previous Pocket models offer digital zoom that degraded image quality immediately. DJI's packaging describes this as lossless, meaning no resolution penalty when punching in, with dedicated physical zoom controls on the body here. Okay. Active Track 7.0 arrives from Osmo Mobile 7. Audio gets a jump to Osmo Audio 4-channel output, replacing the stereo recording of the Pocket 3 in the 3-microphone array. Combined with a 10-bit D-Log color support, the Pocket 4 feels less like a casual vlogging tool, more like a genuine B camera for production work. Okay. One spec worth flagging, D2 Help summary claims up to 6K 60 frames per second, but that resolution does not appear on the retail packaging. The box confirms 10-bit D-Log and 1-inch sensor, but stays silent on maximum resolution. Earlier leaks suggest 4K 120 frames per second for standard model, with 6K possibly reserved for the Pro. A leaked promotional banner also lists Active Track 6.0 rather than 7.0, contradicting the packaging with that one. 107 gig of built-in storage eliminates the micro SD bottleneck, which it does. Okay, and that's a good amount there. That really is a good amount here. Creator Combo box lists fill light, wide angle lens, wireless microphone transmitter, magnetic clip, tripod, and USB-C 3.1 cable, among its other accessories. All right, which is good. That's always a good thing. Pricing holds at $499 for the base model. That's a good thing as well too. League pricing clusters around $499 to $599 with the standard Pocket 4, and $649 to $749 for the Creator Combo. It really sounds very similar to the previous one. DJI holds the base at $499, matching the Pocket 3's current retail price. That's aggressive given the upgrades. All right. The leak trail is now overwhelming, and then there's Drone XL's take on it. So, it kind of, you kind of get a flavor for what's going on here, for what all this is going to entail. Again, for me, I had the Pocket 3 for a while. I remember I took it up to Ohio to record the grands and everything. And, my workflow, I had a hard time. One of the things is I had a hard time, I would want to film one of my grands and they were half a room away, and the zoom on it was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't the lossless zoom that it's going to be. So that would help out. But some of the things, as kids, they move around pretty fast, and it was hard I thought, for the camera to keep up with them. And that's just my personal opinion. I get much better results either using my Samsung Galaxy or my Osmo Action 5. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. But I mean, if somebody want to send me one to review, I would not say no. That's kind of where I'm at on that. So I mean, I think it's going to do well. I think people will buy it. I mean, I don't see people not buying it. For that information and for those reasons, it's just gonna be a different beast, and we'll see how it ends up going. So, and with this in mind, there's something else that I want to bring up here before we start going into before we start talking about prepping for the Avata 360, which is coming. Now, I did check. Evelyn's been great. She's been sending me updates. My drone's cleared customs and is officially on the way to the United States. I thought it would be here by now. I'm just kind of why it's not here. I'm really like, okay, well, where is it? All right, I'm kind of waiting for it, but it's on its way here. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and let me see about getting that other article up here. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. The other thing and here's Ron. Hey, Ron, how are you, sir?
Hello, Bill. How are you tonight?
Good. Did you have a good dinner?
Yeah, yes, we did. Hey, how's my audio? I didn't get a chance to grab my mic.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Yeah,
you're good.
I had dinner with Mike Wright and Jay Santiago. They both just arrived. They flew into Fort Lauderdale Airport, and they came right up here to Jupiter. Went over the schooners, and we all had seafood. It was a good time.
Good deal. Very, very, very good. Just finished talking about the Pocket 4 some, and
Yes.
some of the things hit me. There are some good improvements on the Pocket 4, but and one of the things, going through and taking a detailed look at the pricing, Ron, pricing really is very aggressive considering the fact it is an upgrade. I thought that was a good thing. And I think for the improvements on here, I mean, if you're a pocket enthusiast, okay, I think it's worth the upgrade. But I think if you're just for me, I'm an Osmo action kind of guy. It's not going to sway me to get it. All right, it would have to. Somebody would have to say, here, Bill, go ahead and review it. I wouldn't go out there and buy that on my own. What are your thoughts about the Pocket 4?
Just looking at it, I mean, it has the same sensor size. This is improved sensor, but same sensor size. It really looks like an incremental upgrade if you have the Pocket 3. Of course, if you're coming from Pocket 2 or Pocket 1 or no Pocket at all, it's probably a good buy. Like you said, they seem to hold the price in line. I mean, again, they have 107 built-in gigabytes of internal memory, which sounds good, but if they eliminate the memory card, then I have less memory than a 128 megabyte card in my current one. So I like internal memory, but and especially in small, tiny devices or whatever. But I don't. I think I'd rather have the memory card than less, less built-in memory. So maybe that's an upgrade for some. I don't know if that's an upgrade for me. And the thing that's hurting the Pocket 4 is we saw all those leaked photos of a Pocket Pro with two cameras on it, like a wide angle and a kind of a more zoomed in camera. So everybody kind of got their hopes up for that Pocket Pro, and there's no signs at any place. Whether the Pocket Pro comes down the road or not, I don't know. But I think a lot of people are not going to buy this and wait, hopefully, for the Pocket Pro or the competing Insta360 pocket-looking devices that does have two cameras on it.
Well, yeah, there was an article today. I saw that. I didn't get a chance. Forgot to copy it about Insta360's Pocket Pro version that they're coming out with the two cameras, and it looks really good, Ron. I think they have a real winner with that. I think they did their homework, and I think they're going to hold DJI to the flame for this one. I think they really have a winner.
Yeah, I mean, as far as action cameras, they've been doing action camera in 360s before DJI, and they're, I mean, people can argue all the way, but they're better. They're competitive with DJI. You can't say one's greatly better than the other, but they've never done a pocket type device with, so they'll be new to this. So this is the one time they're not ahead of DJI. They're trying to play catch up in that. So if they can match everything DJI's done with that pocket camera. That's going to be quite a feat, Bill, just coming out of the gate and topping the king of that this segment. But I'm not saying they can't do it. Bill, it's good for consumers. We're going to have choices now in pocket type cameras from 2 companies that are experts at making these small cameras. So it's all good for us consumers.
Exactly here. You know, we're going to go ahead and start talking about the Avata 360. And what I want to do today, Ron, is I spent the day, I did a lot of things today. All right. And the first thing that I want to talk about today is I went out, and now if you go out to my Avata 360 group, all right, what I did was I went out there, and let's go ahead. I want to bring this article up. Okay. All right. Well, the first thing that I did today was I went out to, and let me bring this up here. Okay. All right. I went out and downloaded DJI Studio. All right. Now I found out a couple of things with this. All right. If your computer, if you haven't done any upgrades to your video drivers, you need to do upgrades to your video drivers, because DJI Studio will stop you in its tracks and say it's not going to work right unless you upgrade your video driver. So I did that, and it guided me real well. I have a NVIDIA video driver on my laptop, and it's a higher end laptop because it's an Omen and it's geared for gaming. And that's the whole reason I got it, because it's geared for gaming with a higher end processor. Now it did take a few to go ahead and do the firmware update and then everything. And then I downloaded Studio. All right. Now what I did was there was a gentleman out there who put out a video, and embedded in the link of that in his description, he had a sample 360 file that you could go ahead and use. So I went out there today, I grabbed that sample file, and I had in 10 minutes. Okay. I went in there, I keyframed it, I exported it, I put it into DaVinci Resolve, boom, no problems. Okay.
You're good.
It worked really well. So just to let everybody know, go out to the 360 group, look for that video, download that file, and then download DJI Studio, and you can get out there and practice this. It's like he's going over a bridge, okay, over a nice big river into a big city, and the options are limitless with what you could do. And I did it in like 5 minutes, and I had it done, and it worked real well. I would strongly suggest you guys, if you have no experience with 360, get in there and do that. DJI Studio is super easy to use. What helped me out a lot was I used Jevin Dovey's video, okay? The second half of the video where he comes back and he's processing his footage, and he explains it so clearly and succinctly. So there's a definitely, that's a video that you want to have on your list to do that. So definitely that's one of the things that I recommend that you guys do.
And now, 51 Drones also has an editing a video too.
The other editing video that I saw that I really like, well, Sean from Air Photography, he did a good job.
51 Drones. Kelly Shorts have a good editing video for the DJI app.
Now the other video, and it came out today, was Sean from Air Photography, and he calls it a beginner's guide, and that's something I highly recommend. And it's out. I posted it out in the group, and it's out there for you guys. Highly recommend that you watch this video. Okay, now DJI's put some tutorials out there, but these videos that you're seeing out there, like from Jevin and also from Sean from Air Photography and Kelly, these are the ones to go out there and watch. Okay, and let me tell you something, all right, because I came into this totally, I've never touched 360 footage before, all right, and I'll tell you what, it was because I'm pretty good with DaVinci Resolve. I mean, I've gotten used to it through the years, and I know what it can do and everything. So it was real intuitive, especially Jevin's video. He was real clear, real succinct, walked you through it, which is great. All right, took you step by step. Same with Kelly Shores. Okay, step by step, what you needed to do that, to export it, to import it into your workflow, into DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut Pro, everything. It was easy. It really was. So,
Bill, can I ask you a question? How long was the clip that you practiced on?
The clip was about maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes long. It was a pretty long clip. So,
Oh,
but I just keyframed about, I'm going to say about maybe 30 seconds of it to maybe 45 seconds of it. But it worked like a champ, Ron. I mean, what I did was I did a side view, and then I went ahead and I did a rear view, and then I went ahead and did full around and went back to a front view. It works seamlessly. So,
I know with Insta360 software, the keyframing, once you get that done, my only problem is, say I would go out and shoot, I'm making 20 minutes worth of video, right, with my Insta360 camera, and I would get it home, but maybe if there's 20 minutes, I only wanted 3 minutes out of the video. You know what I mean? And my problem, I always had problems, and that the minutes that I want were in the middle of the video. They weren't the beginning or end. So I always had a problem chopping out all the video I did not want, and I always, somehow it always messed things up. I couldn't chop a part out and then keep the part I did want. I always had a problem with a long thing. Now, again, if you gave me a 2-minute clip and I wanted everything in that 2-minute clip, I was okay. But if I wanted to cut part of that 2-minute clip out, that's where I ran into my problems.
Yeah, well, there's in DJI Studio. This was it's called free, I believe, where you can go ahead and that's where you can do your keyframing. Now another one, it's locked to the camera view, so it acts like a normal drone, so it gets the view from front like you would normally see in any of your other drones. So if you just wanted to use your footage for that, you can do that. All right, there's an option to do that. All right, and then there are different other options which I really kind of didn't try, that quick out and quick in and reverse, all that. I didn't try any of that. I just wanted to get some basic skills down, and I was very impressed with how easy it was. Now, one of the other things that hit me, and I think I was very wise, Ron, I ordered 2 additional batteries because Jev and Dovey emphasized you will not get more than 15 minutes out of this. All right, because it really takes up that battery. It really is very heavy on that battery use. So I went ahead when I ordered my drone, from Evelyn. I placed a separate order with her. I ordered extra batteries, extra props, and I ordered 2 of the lens replacement kits from her as well too. So be forewarned. And if you want to get batteries, get them from her. She has the best price out there. The other ones on eBay are all inflated. Go to Evelyn, get batteries off of her. I highly recommend that. Don't even hesitate. Now, the other thing is that people need to be aware of, and I did put this out on the group, is SD cards. Okay, you're going to need a higher end SD card. Lexer and Kingston are probably the way to go. And I'm going to pull it out here. I went ahead and let's see here. Yeah.
And folks, just watch last week's segment. Bill put the chart up on what DJI cards they recommend for it.
Yeah, I went on. I got a Lexer. I got a 256. Now, and it's wise because you need to. Now you can get a 512, but let me tell you, okay, this was this was right around $100 here. All right, prices are like absolutely crazy on there. And I found in my stash, I already had another one of these too. So I'm on the good end of it. So you need to understand something, okay? This footage that you're going to download, all right, and Jevin pointed it out in his video, Sean did as well, is it's going to take up a nice chunk of data on these SD cards, all right? So you need to get these higher end SD cards. This is a time, I mean, I almost always will say, go out for the spec sheet, find the cards, get the one that's listed here. Don't go after an off brand, okay? Now, SanDisk makes great cards, but for some reason, okay, I think it's the read-write speed on here that what DJI is shooting for, and this has a fantastic read-write speed on it, okay? I did take a look at that. Now, I went out on Amazon, and I got this, and then I got a dual one as well, too. So I have 3 of these 256 gigabyte cards. So make sure that you get one of these cards before you get the drone here, okay? I think it's really super, super important to go ahead and do that. That's something that I can't emphasize enough. Now,
and of course, the drone does have a 40 some gigs of internal memory built in, but with these large 360 files, I think one of them, Jeff or somebody put up, that'll get you like 15 minutes worth of video or something.
Yeah. Now, one of the things. Oh, okay, Droney Oki. Thank you for letting me know. That's great. That's awesome.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
Okay. That's
Cool.
fantastic. All right.
Have you ever ordered one of Amazon's basic cards, Bill?
No, I've not. And thanks, Johnny. I know Marcus mentioned of that, that he's used them before, and I may give that a shot. Now they're not that, and
I've actually used their cards, not their mic. They're small. What do you call the bigger memory cards that go in traditional cameras? What do we call them? SDs? We call these micro SDs, right? Where the ones we're
right.
using. Yeah. So I've used Amazon Basic regular size memory cards that would traditionally go in a real camera, and I've always had good luck with them. But I've never shot a lot of video with those. So shooting pictures, you don't really need the read write speed to do for video.
Right. No, not with the pictures. It's only with the video. That's correct, Ron. So, I would say give it a shot, but from what I've seen with the Amazon pricing, it's maybe about 25% less. I mean, say saving a buck is saving a buck is saving a buck, but just be forewarned, you're still going to be paying a good chunk a change right now. I mean, I was absolutely, Ron, this opened my eye. I had no, because I hadn't bought an SD card in like forever. And then
Haven't
I
either.
go out there to look at this, and I'm like, it's like pulling up to the gas pump. It's like sticker shock. I'm like, you got
No,
to be
for
kidding
the
me.
last couple years, I typically when I get a new drone, I take an old drone out, commission or sell it. So I just take the memory card out of the old drone, put in a new drone, reformat it. Usually works like a charm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've done. It's exactly what I've done before. Like when I went from the Mini 3 to the Mini 4. When I go from the Mini 4 to Mini 5, I'm using that and it's working like a champ. There's really no problem here. Now, you need to be aware of, with this again, this is a whole new ball game as far as the footage is concerned. All right. And, I can't really emphasize enough. I heard it from Sean, and Jasper, or not Jasper Owens, but Jevin Dovey, really they emphasize with these SD cards, you really got to stick to this type of SD card here. Don't really go off the reservation a whole lot as far as that's concerned. I think that's really, really important to do that. All right. Now, one of the other things that I've seen out there too is, for example, okay, I was really shocked. Okay. Now, Jevin Dovey, I really like him, and he did not do a sponsored review. In other words, he had to go out there and buy the drone on his own. Ron, I went out to the site that he used from a retailer in Los Angeles, okay,
eBay.
an eBay in Los Angeles. All right, you know how much more he paid than retail? About $400 more than retail.
Yeah, but of course he put that video up a few days ago. So that meant he had it for a few days. So that meant he got the drone almost a few days after it got released. So that's why he paid for that.
Yeah.
He had access to drone reviews. But Bill, you make a very point. Jeff W has about 3 million subscribers. He's kind of done all the DJI drones. But he does all sorts of. He does the action cameras, the pockets, but he does high end cameras. So if Devin Jovi can't get a drone sent to him, I mean, what are the parameters, right? I mean, it's not like he has the subs. He's got the views. I mean, but did they just pick him out of a hat, Bill?
I don't know. I really don't know. Now, Jim Stroney, I want to go ahead and answer you right here with AliExpress, right? I got a little story for you. All right. I wanted to purchase some thumb drives for both of my PCs, transfer files to make it real easy. All right. So I go out to AliExpress and I'm seeing like a 1 terabyte Lexar thumb drive for $10. I'm like, too good to be true. All right. So I ordered a couple of them. 64 gigabyte orders, or no, 256, 512. I ordered some of these, all right. And I ordered some SD cards, okay. Supposedly SanDisk, all right. I get out there, all right, and I get them here. Ron, I returned every single one of them. All right. The thumb drives, what happened was I would go out there and put a file out there, couldn't access it. I put a movie file, an MP4 out there, wouldn't play. All right. Reformatted it, everything, boom, wouldn't play. Tried that with all the drives. The SD card, same thing with that. Okay. I would put a file on the SD card. All right. Or I'd go out there, I'd use it. All right. And then I try to get on my computer. Wouldn't play. Absolutely wouldn't play. So Jim's droning. I would say this: avoid AliExpress for getting SD cards or thumb drives or external drives. Period. Okay. I tried getting an external drive off of them, which I thought was a crazy good deal. All right. No, don't even think about them. Trust the name brands. Go to Amazon, Best Buy, Adorama, B&H. Go out there. Something that's tried and true that works. All right. And I'm not preaching at you. I'm just telling you this for FYI. Okay. Those prices grabbed me. They got my attention. But in the long run, it ended up costing me time and money because what I had to do was, I had to go out there. Now, AliExpress has a pretty easy return system, which really kind of impressed me. I didn't really know that. And I got some other things off AliExpress that were actually decent. I got a ham radio that it was an off-brand of a name brand that I already have, and it's gotten good reviews, and they did really good on that. So just to let you know, there are some good things out there.
And Bill, memory cards, any type of memory, in particular, memory cards, they're particularly known to be faked or whatever. That it's a lot of scamming going on those type of things.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta be aware. Now, understand something. All right, with AliExpress, they are like the businesses that they have working are independent. Okay, and they just kind of sell under their umbrella called AliExpress. But these are each independent businesses, but they got to adhere to AliExpress's rules. That's kind of how it works. I had somebody explain it to me like that. So, but AliExpress is very good about getting you refunds on things that don't work. You send them a picture, you show them what's on there. I sent them a screenshot, said can't access this file. Boom. There's no questions asked. As soon as I dropped it off UPS store or USPS, boom, I got my refund. So no harm, no foul. Just to let you guys know all that.
Okay. Well, Bill, in these times, these sky high memory cards, maybe as consumers, we'd be better off to see more drones like the Mavic 4 Pro that come with the 512 built in, so you don't have to worry about memory cards anymore.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that's absolutely fantastic, Ron. That is a great idea that DJI came up with that, because I haven't touched it. Everything that I've done has been on internal memory with that. I haven't put an SD card. I do have an SD card in there, but I'm like, why did I even do that? Because that internal memory.
Yeah. My buyer sent me I think the person I bought it of sent me a big memory card. It may have been a 512 256. I put in there. I've never used it either. In fact, Bill, I've never taken one file off my Mavic 4 Pro. It's got everything ever shot on the drive in there.
I'm the same way, Ron. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was why. So why do that? I mean, there's no real need to really do that. So I also wanted to give everybody, I think I touched on this earlier, but I want to let everybody know, it's been a little slow this time around getting some feedback from Evelyn. I think as far as shipping is concerned, because I ordered mine pretty much on the spot, and she said it just cleared customs today or yesterday. So I don't even think I'm going to have it in my hands before we head to Jensen Beats on Friday. So I don't think
I got an update for you, Johnny. He thinks he ordered from Evelyn. He thinks this is coming like today or tomorrow, whatever. Johnny's already in. He's already at the hotel now.
Okay.
But his drone's coming again. It was coming today or tomorrow, so he was getting it this week or whatever. But he just missed it, and he ordered. I guess he ordered. As soon as Evelyn had him.
Yeah. I pretty much. It was about maybe 4 or 5 hours after that. That afternoon is when I went ahead and ordered it from Evelyn. And I think what she did was, it's a bigger package because I had the batteries, the props, another charging hub.
That may slow you down, right?
So that may slow it down a little bit. I don't know. So
I think what Johnny did, he ordered the drone, and then he ordered his accessories separate in a different order.
Okay. That may have been a smart thing to have done that. Now I ordered them in separate orders, but I think she put it all together is what I think she did. So,
okay.
And I think that's where it kind of got bogged down. Now, this is related to it. I know Marcus made a comment. A lot of people, DJI is including a landing pad for the first time ever. I don't think they've ever done that before. It's a folding landing pad that's coming in there, and and I think somebody made the comment last night was, you can see DJI really wants you to go ahead protect that lens. I think there's an emphasis on that. So what I did also today, and I thought they were coming today, but they didn't. I went ahead, and there are some accessories that are slowly but surely starting to pop up on Amazon right now. They have the guards like you saw with the Neo and the other Avata 2. So I went ahead and bought some of those, and they have landing gear. Okay, really, it's really kind of extensions. I got the orange colored ones just because they had orange. All right, and will stand out. But I think it's important that drone does not land on 100% on the ground.
Bill, before you get too far off the landing pad thing, remember when Insta360 made the Spear 360 camera? It worked with the Air 2 and Air 2S drones from DJI. It attached around. That also came with a landing pad.
Okay. All right.
That's like a 5-year-old product. It came with that little Spear camera that you attached to your Air 2. It came with a landing pad.
Yeah, Joni Oki. Yeah, she did. She told me the same thing too. She really got hit hard, which is good for her.
Yeah, she put a notice up on Facebook that she was temporarily sold out of 360, but she would get him back in soon.
Yeah, I saw that too. So, but those are starting to come through. I also reached out to my contact with Lycus, who makes cases, and he's going to get back to me at the end of this week. Now, have you heard anything from Start RC, Ron?
Yeah, they already have a case. I know. I don't think Johnny haven't got him yet, but I know we're going to get him sometime in the near future. I don't know if it's a hard case, soft case. I don't know. I don't know much about it, but I know they have a case and they're starting to send it out to reviewers.
Because I reached out to my contact with Start RC, haven't heard back from them because I got it last time for the Mini 5 Pro. He sent me 2 cases for that, and I reviewed those. So
if you bought the Flymore kit for the Avata 360, you would get a similar looking case to what you get for the Avata 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Just bigger. Did you see Joe Noki's comment that Amazon now has the 360 on site?
Wow. So if you guys have some extra coin in your pocket and really want to get one, go for it.
And now that's not as much as the guy eBay in Los Angeles, but it's getting up there, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of, if you have some money to burn, that's probably not a bad idea. Or if you really want to get one, and it's important to you to have it first. Yeah, So yeah, I mean, that's kind of how things go with that. So just all told, with all this, my message is, get ready for these because it's going to be also the other thing too is, and I wanted to go over this. I wanted to make sure that we did talk about this. There was a firmware update, okay, which really it should be no big surprise, Ron. Okay,
right?
There was going to be one, but I wanted to make mention of this before we finished up here. Okay, Avata got a firmware update that changes the conversation. If you've been on the fence about pulling the trigger, this might be the moment here. Okay, since this article was published, it's been clear that the full manual acro mode on the 360 is also most certainly not coming. All right. Now we did talk about that and we did address that and we did talk about this last week. From the standpoint was that they had it in beta and they ended up pulling it. All right. The reason, according to the testers who had access to those early builds, is that DJI considered the crash risk too high for the Avata 360's exposed 360 degrees lens system. Okay. And that's why they went ahead and pulled that. All right. A quick refresher on what the Avata 360 is. All right. Speed tracking and the features that make it fun. All right. Okay, I'm trying to see where it actually says. I think the update was on Focus Track. From what I'm seeing right here. Let's get into what's new and what actually matters for real flying.
Supposedly it added true acro mode, true manual acro flying.
Okay.
That's one of the. I mean, I can't confirm that, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, manual mode is the real deal. Okay, let's be straight about the ecosystem here too.
But guess what it did? Guess what it did add, Bill? And we need to bring this up. It doesn't say it added compatibility with the DJI RC2 Pro. Remember, it had the discussion last week about that, and I said
Right.
every episode we would review back. So this is we'll say week 2 of the discussion, and still no compatibility with the RC Pro 2 controller. So we'll come back to it. Well, I won't be on the show next week. I'll be traveling. We'll come back in 2 weeks and see if it's made it yet.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Ron, because I know that's been probably a very hot topic besides the manual or acro mode, is whether or not it's gonna work with the two. And there's a strong sentiment and a strong feeling out there from everything that I've seen and read that it will. So it's kind of like cross your fingers. I mean, they have it to where it works with the Mini 5 Pro, Ron, and the Air 3S, and why why it wouldn't work with the Avata 360, I don't know. All right.
Or the Neo 1, Neo 2 Flip, all the other OcuSync 4 drones that are not in the traditional line of drones. It doesn't seem that they won't let it happen on any of the non-traditional drones.
Right. So the only other thing that I wanted to kind of
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't here. Now, before we wrap things up,
Before we do for Bill, would you share my screen I put up down below?
Okay, sure.
This is what Joe Noki was talking about. Here it is. It's official here. It says it ships April. You'll get it on free delivery April 14th. So, Bill, I believe that's a week from today, right? Yeah. It's
right. It's
1 week's time you'll get the drone, and it's sold by that Fly CR something. They're a big reseller of DJI stuff on Amazon. So it's not some fly-by-night guy. That whatever that guy company is, he sells a lot of DJI drones that you cannot get through traditional channels anymore.
Thank you for sharing that, Ron.
And there's your landing pad and
the landing pad. You can see the 3
it
batteries.
does ship to the U.S., so you won't have to worry about customs and that because it's already in the country. And that's the full kit with the RC2, your extra props, your 3 batteries, your case. It's the whole ball of wax. Which again, I believe that's what, about $200 markup. That's about a $999 kit, I believe, Bill.
Yeah. So it's not bad. I mean, if you really want to get your hands on it sooner rather than later, this is definitely an option. Johnny Oki, thank you for sharing that. It makes it gives you the option of buying it from Amazon, and it gives you somewhat of a peace of mind regarding it, that any issues or anything you can deal with Amazon, which is a whole lot easier than having to deal with somebody from eBay. So kind of take that for what it's worth. Now, one of the other things that I want to share, the last thing that I wanted to share, it's a DJI product here, and I know you guys touched on it last week or last night, is I wanted to touch on this too, and I almost forgot, but I thought it was important enough to go ahead and do this. DJI Lido drone sparks confusion. Is this a mini replacement or something new? And these boxes out there, these pictures were posted by Igor Bogdanov. You can see right here. Well, that's what's this in my hands? The new DJI Lido. Okay. He said, with a deft click of the wrist, I pull out the DJI Lido X1. Check it out. And these pictures that he shows, with the drone, it's all covered up. And then here's supposedly, I think that looks like an AI kind of rendering. I don't think those are actual drones right there, as far as that's concerned. And you could see, it had been approved by the FCC, so it's out there. If we see this, Ron, it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be too soon. I think it may be a May kind of time frame before we see something like this.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there was always rumors for the second quarter, and since obviously the Pocket 3 is coming on the 20th, it won't come before the Pocket 3, and it won't come right after. So yeah, probably May, maybe pushed back to June.
Yeah, I say the same thing, and I agree.
This there's 2 versions of it coming, Bill. There's a X1 and so there's a better version. It's going to be equivalent to like kind of a DJI Mini 4 or 5, and then there's going to be more of a downgraded version, which will be more of the equivalent of a upgraded mini 4K or whatever. So you have two very different drones coming here, but both of them, these drones, get just so folks understand, don't hate on these drones. They're not going to, it's going to be no new technology here. These drones are just kind of repurposing features and parts on other drones from DJI. So there's nothing groundbreaking here. The only thing that's groundbreaking is kind of you'll get a lot of value for your dollar on these.
I agree, Ron. And Ron, I think Marcus kind of alluded to it last night, and I agree with him 100%. I think what you're seeing are the two Sky Rovers here. And I think they just rebranded the Sky Rovers and called them the Leto and then the Leto X1.
But some rumors say these will be enhanced versions of the Sky Rover drones. These will have some stuff the Sky Rover drones did not have.
Maybe like the maybe like the screen that we like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they mean hardware or software related, or maybe both. But these will be refined versions of those drones, and like Bill alluded to, maybe the possible built-in screen. But my argument there is I understand Marcus. He's a drone reviewer, so he's not doing this on price. But if you're trying to save money by buying the most budget drone a company has, are you really going to throw a couple $100 out for a fancy controller?
That's very true. I mean, when your phone will do the job, yeah, that's.
I mean, and if you're not trying to save money, you're not buying the Leto one anyways, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you have the budget to get a smart controller, you're probably not buying the budget line of drone from DJI.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. If and realize too, people that are. I mean, the trend is going obviously to the controllers with screens. Okay, and that's been coming for the past couple of years. So are they going to stop making them? I don't know, but I think it's kind of heading towards that end, Ron, because I think people realize how convenient it is to not have to hook up your phone, because really, in all essence, if you want to be honest, it's a real pain in the butt to do that. All right, and I've never had a DJI controller with a built-in screen heat up on me and die. I've had my iPad do it plenty of times. I had my Samsung Galaxy do that several times, but I've never had one of their controllers do that. So
yeah, but I think as long as there's a budget drone, there'll be a budget controller.
I think you're probably right. An N3 style controller. I do think you're right.
And I argue this with Marcus a lot too. We're drone reviewers. We need to be the star of our own videos. So when we're out there, you're out there in the Florida, it's 90-some degrees, the sun's bearing down, your screen's going, dark or whatever. That's because you're trying to make a drone video. If you weren't trying to make a drone video, you'd be flying from inside your air-conditioned car, and you wouldn't have any of those issues.
Exactly. Okay. And I've had to do that before at times. You know how hot it gets here. And
that's why I always do that stuff early in the morning or late in the day when the sun's not burning down. And when I have my drone real estate jobs, lots of times I just sit in the car with the air conditioning. I park the car where I'm looking right at the house, down the street or whatever, look right at the house, got line of sight, and fly off from the air conditioned car when I do have to fly in the middle of the day in the heat.
Which is smart. That's a very smart thing to do that like that. So just again,
that but if you're out there at 1:00 in the afternoon, the sun's beating down, and you got to be the star of your own drone, standing out there in the middle of an open field, then those things are going to happen.
Exactly here. Now, just word, just some words about coming to the South Florida Drone Meetup. All right, Friday night it's going to be at Stewart Billiards. They're going to have a get together. What time is that on Friday night, Ron?
That tradition starts at like around 6 o'clock, because they have food laid out and everything.
Okay, all right. So be aware of that for those of you who are coming, and it's a fun time. I mean, that Friday night is just so much fun. If you want to shoot,
it's in the bar area, and there's plenty of room in that bar. There's billiard tables in there, but there's even if 100 people come or more, there's plenty of room in there.
Oh yeah. It's very, very spacious in there, and the food's very good. I mean, we really enjoy the food that we had when we went there a couple of years ago. So, like I said, it's just an enjoyable. Friday night is an enjoyable time, and I really like that Ray started doing that. I think that's great. And also too, Saturday after the meetup, there's also going to be, well, usually go out to dinner. Everybody gets together and goes out to dinner, and that was a lot of fun when we did that before too. So be on the lookout for that. Be prepared. I don't know what the weather was like over there today, Ron, but it started out raining here. I mean, big time, and then it kind of cooled off. It really cooled off in the afternoon. I mean, it's like you kind of needed to wear jeans instead of shorts kind of day today.
Yeah, we had the rain started, last night, and it rained. I mean, it rained. It's not raining now. We were out to dinner, but it rained right before, and the wind's picking up. It's still not cold. It's well, we got a whole bunch of people from the north here, so we don't think it's cold.
We don't think, yeah, exactly. Okay,
yeah. But I mean, it's cooler than when the sun was out or whatever. But in fact, I'm still running the air conditioner here in the condo. So
yeah, we have ours on too. I mean, it's just but yeah, it was
Well, the long range forecast is around here, anyways. I think tomorrow's going to be real windy, chance of more rain, but by Thursday afternoon, it's clearing up. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all look, partly sunny, upper 70s, 80 degrees, perfect thing. The only thing I think is going to be a tad breezy. So maybe don't plan on flying your Neo too much that day.
Exactly. Just be prepared. And like I've told people, for those of you who are familiar with Florida, weather can change on a dime here. So just be prepared. I would definitely, maybe bring some shorts. I would bring a pair or two because it could get warm enough, but jeans will do you fine. T-shirts will be fine. Just come and enjoy and have a great time and we're going to have a lot of fun. Valerie's really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it too. So, any closing thoughts before we wrap things up, Ron?
Just that I'm looking forward to seeing you, Bill, and all the other people in the community. I hope, I don't know how many people in the chat are coming. I think RJ Redding may be coming. Of course, Captain Ray's out there. He's coming. So anybody out there is coming. I can't, look forward to, if I've already met you, I look forward to seeing you again. If not, I look forward to shaking your hand and meeting you for the first time and having a little chat. So it's going to be a great weekend. And again, I hope I hope the forecast is good. Hope the forecast holds up because, as Bill said, weather does change down here quickly. So, I'm looking forward to it, Bill. And, I'm looking forward to seeing the Avata 360. Alex Escardo got his early, and he will have it at the meetup. So we will be able to see one fly for the first time in person.
Alex is my favorite Florida Panther drone.
There you go. There you go.
Alex is not, you're number one in my book, my friend. Okay. Absolutely number one in my book. So, all right. Same here. Everybody's travel safe. And when you come, enjoy yourselves. Okay. You fly your drones, but really focus more on, seeing people and talking with people and spending time with them because, like I said, we can fly our drones 364 days a year, but it's only this one special day or 2 days that we get to spend with other like-minded drone enthusiasts and just have a lot of fun. And that's the whole name of the game. And kudos to Captain Ray and the committee for doing all that they do. And for everybody that's contributed prizes to it, thank you for doing that. Just go and get ready and have some fun. We're planning on it. We're going to have a great time. We are staying at the same hotel as everybody else. So that's going to be fun too. So that's all I got for tonight, everybody. See you on Friday. Have safe travels. And as always, guys, it's a great day to fly. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Good night.